Guys, we've got some hilarious fan mail to read to you. I don't know what you want to call it. I guess it's fan mail because the guy clearly took, a long time to write this. So I would never write this lengthy correspondence to anybody I wasn't a fan of. But that being said, it doesn't really read like a fan. So I'll let you read our latest email, Brad.
So let's take this piece by piece so we can react to the different parts of it, because there's a lot here.
It's a lot.
So this guy emailed me and Hannah, and he said, okay, so here is what I think of your podcast. Hannah, when you said you were a pastor's kid, I almost yelled, called it, even though there was no one in the room. You make these blanket statements all the time, like, that is disgusting, I have no respect, etc. Like, why has no one said this? I Googled some other photos of you, creepy, and have come to this conclusion. You look like a 30-year-old Texan congressman's wife named Tiffany who has at least 5 kids and believes in gender roles in the home. Sir, have you met Hannah? Because she's kind of the opposite of all of that.
It's a lot, but I have to say I'm highly amused. One, I'm almost 35, so thank you for thinking I'm 30. Secondarily, I am not married to a congressman, and I do not have 5 kids by absolute choice, because trust me, I could have done that multiple times over. Like, it's kind of funny. I really I don't know. You can criticize
and
me
you're
all you
so
want,
not the traditional women belong in the kitchen type at all. I guess he's saying you look like that, but you don't.
But I look like a mob boss's wife in New Jersey. I don't look like a Texan at all. That being said, though, I do think it's kind of funny because my perception of this is this guy heard one show, heard I was a pastor's kid, and attributed all kinds of things to me that are just wildly inaccurate about everything I've talked about. Anybody who's listened to me for more than 5 minutes would know that. But okay, he tried it. I don't know. I will say this. There is a substantial amount of men who hate nothing more than a confident, successful woman. And I really get under that kind of man's skin. And so that's my vibe I have from him. He doesn't he goes on to mention my ego, which we'll get to. But it's just kind of interesting to me. You tried it, but it's going to take a lot more than that to knock down this ego, bud. All right. Next paragraph, he goes on for Brad. He goes, Brad, don't think you were going to get away. Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Sounds a little kidnappery, but okay. You look like a druggy Spanish soccer player who's slightly famous. I mean, honestly, your eyes look like the cocaine is just waiting to escape as it's filled up your body. And both of y'all are always complaining about America and crap. You guys could just start a country on Brad's jawline. There is plenty of room. And once you finish building your country, you could have a colony on his teeth, I think is what he means.
He's saying, I guess I have a really big teeth and a very long jaw. I think I have an amazing jawline. I constantly get complimented on that, actually. The eyes thing is funny because we've talked about this. I do forget to blink on camera sometimes. So I'm like, what's with the druggy Spanish soccer player thing? First off, I think Spanish men can be very handsome and soccer players tend to be very attractive. So I'm not sure this is the dunk that you think it is. But also the druggy part, I literally don't even drink.
Honestly, this email is written like somebody was on drugs writing it. There's so much happening here, but slightly famous is my favorite part. Only a slightly famous soccer player.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. This is not the dunk he thinks it is, but I'm entertained. So let's keep going.
He continues, I know you were probably expecting something along the lines of, I really love your content, or amazing exchange of views, but that's boring. Well, actually, sir, I feel like there's a pretty big spectrum between that and whatever the hell this is.
Also, anytime I open an email this long, I am not expecting a normal.
Normal people cap themselves at 3 paragraphs. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, Brad, lots of people love soccer players that are on drugs who have massive jawlines and teeth the size of Hannah's ego. So I wouldn't worry if I was you. That's funny. Teeth the size of Hannah's ego. That is funny.
That is funny. I don't know. I'm so confused. You're such an attractive man. Everyone's always like, Brad's such an attractive guy. And I'm like, I know. And so it's so funny to me when people try to dunk on your looks. It's you have an awesome jawline and really strong, beautiful teeth. Okay, you got me. This is one time somebody tried to insult me. They're like, oh, you're on Fox News. I was like, yeah, you got me. I'm on TV. Zinger.
Wow.
Okay.
Owned.
Totally owned. He also goes on to say, Hannah, I would worry if I were you. We can all smell a pastor's kid a mile away, and when the apocalypse comes, your group will be the first to go. I am vastly confused by that. Like, why? Like, what?
They're gonna, yeah, when the apocalypse happens, they're gonna form some gangs and go out hunting pastors' kids.
I'm terrified, shaking in my boots.
Also, of all the people to be worried, I would say someone like you who's strapped and knows how to use it, probably not the ones who need to be worried about the apocalypse.
Also, for those of you who don't know, pastors' kids are beloved. I have an entire community of people who would go to bat for me on a dime. Like, and I love that. Like, the number of people in my dad's churches who like tell me they pray for me every day, who like have just showered me with love throughout my life. I'm like, sir, you don't want to go to bat with this. Like, I got a whole army behind me. But here's the best part. Okay, we saved the best for last. He says, P.S. This is a poem about Brad.
A poem.
A poem. There once was a soccer player from Spain who really liked snorting cocaine. He was kind of famous, even though of his gayness, but he really liked to complain. His jawline was massive, his views not passive. You wish his eeriness would abstain. Like, the time that this man just devoted to you is fan behavior, as we said before. But I mean, a poem. Wow. Like,
Wow.
really put some energy into this.
You know, I want to say no one's ever written me a poem before, but that would be a lie. We had somebody write us a base politics poem, if you remember.
We had a haiku.
But that was like complimentary.
Yeah.
This is like creepy, but also I think he might be in love with me.
Yeah, it's sending what's the pastor's name? Jesse Lee Peterson vibes.
See, I also think it's kind of sending like Stan from Eminem's vibes. You know who that is? The mega fan that like I went crazy and I forget exactly what he did to Eminem, but yeah.
He's like writing him, obsessed with him, and then he kills his girlfriend. Yeah, it is sending those vibes, and I will say, like, I don't mind criticism, but these kind of emails do get a little high-key creepy. They give stalker vibes, like, just kind of a little obsessed.
But they also give us entertaining content and amuse the masses.
Listen,
people
Twitter
loved when I posted this on social. They loved this. They got a kick out of it.
My phone blew up with people commenting on your Twitter share of this. People were like, this is so funny. Like, because I feel like we do get an unusual hate mail. Like, yeah, it's in a league of its own. So, well, thanks for the email. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't kill us.